All right. I figured I'd figure it out here. Let me go back to this part here because I meant to change this. Hang on a second. Hi, everybody. I'm here. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm just trying to figure out how some of this is working because I'm trying to add Twitter Spaces in using another input on my mixing board. And I just realized I have the wrong thumbnail up. So let's fix the thumbnail real quick because that ain't it. I always forget that I have to do this now because this changes every time. So I have to go in and do something. Happy Friday, by the way. It's I'm going to talk a little bit about that movie that Matt Walsh made and also just the question itself. And I'm hoping to get some people here to that'll give me some different opinions because I don't necessarily just want this to be an echo chamber. In fact, I don't want it to be an echo chamber. But for whatever reason, people like to have love to have discussions about this on the internet or in Twitter or whatever, but they don't really want to have to talk about it. And so hopefully I can get someone on here in either the Twitter Spaces or on the show, which the link to the conversation is up there in the chat. It's that way, I guess. It's that way, right? I don't know. I can't tell what I'm looking at. And, we'll see what happens. Am I buffering? Or can you guys see me okay? Okay, everything's working fine. It looks like am I in? Oh, no. Did this do this to me again? Did this reset so that I'm like in 360p? God, that drives me nuts. Well, anyway, I bet it did. This thing, I hate this thing resets on me all the friggin' time. Let me just check this real quick. Video output. Yep, it did it to me again. God damn it. That pisses me off. Oh, well, whatever. It is what it is. So anyway, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try to talk about that on the Morning Night Live, and we'll see what happens. But for now, I'm going to play the intro. Johnny.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night.
Yay! And stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P. Dog Night on the internet. Welcome back to the P. Dog Night channel. It is Friday, the 3rd of June, 2024. One more day until we're a month away from July 4th, which is one of my favorite holidays. Not just because I'm a patriotic kind of guy, but it's a nice excuse to take a midday off of work. Although I don't know what day the 4th comes on this year, but and to grill some grilling foods like I'll probably smoke some ribs this year. That's kind of what my plan is, and just whatever, just to chill and hang out either by the pool or on the lake or whatever. This year will probably be by the pool because I think we're gonna have some people over at our house for a 4th of July bash. But I'm just planning ahead. But before that, I have a party next weekend for my daughter, my lovely daughter, and baby Coralie, and my wonderful son-in-law, another baby shower. And so this weekend I'll be power washing all the outdoor furniture and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so the topic today that I really just going to spend probably the whole time on is the movie by Matt Walsh called What is a Woman? And it's obviously creating some controversy. Is that Twitter Space thing working? Why is that doing that? Anyway, and just talk about the question. We're going to watch some clips that Matt has put on Twitter himself. So hopefully I won't get in trouble for that. We'll discuss it. I just noticed Matt Walsh putting his Twitter profile has changed. It now, his Twitter profile says theocratic fascist, best-selling children's author, women's studies scholar, and biologist. So he is quite the qualifications to talk about the question that is pissing some people off, making some people say, "Oh, it's transphobic," and he explains in some places why he made this movie, because some of the big question is, well, why do you care? Well, I don't know, because it's an important question. You know, here's why I care. Because I've seen I've been watching this phenomenon probably since I got on YouTube, because I didn't really pay attention to it much until I got on YouTube, and I was always looking for things to talk about and videos and stuff. And funny thing is, I didn't talk about this topic a lot because I really didn't know enough. I didn't want to understand the things that people were starting to say about gender ideology and all that stuff. And I didn't really, but I watched a lot of videos, and I watched a lot of different creators talk about it. And I kind of just stayed away from the topic for a long time, even though, if I really think about it, I have very strong opinions about it. And so, you know, it kind of forced me in recent years, especially because plus my kids were pretty much grown. Okay, my kids, when I got on YouTube, my daughter had already graduated high school. She was already into college. And my son, had he already graduated? Yeah, he'd already graduated high school too. And when I started this YouTube channel. And I knew that they were kind of past it, that the rise in the trend had not happened yet. But now that my children are starting to have children, I'm taking a look at this and seeing the patterns of what they're teaching in schools and what they're, you know, how it's almost like they're encouraging people to be something than what they are. Now, they're not saying that. They're saying that they're helping people be what they truly are. But it concerns me, because I'm watching I look at some of the research and some of the things that are happening to people, especially people who figure out, oh, wait a minute, this was a mistake. But it's too late. It's too late. You've done things to yourself, to your health, to your body, to your body chemistry, and now you can't do anything. You can't turn back. And I worry about how this is going to affect the next generation, especially in the areas of mental health, because now you've got 20% of Zoomers or Gen Z, or whatever they call them, 20% are identifying as LGBTQ, which is not, I don't care about the LGB part. There've always been LGBT people. But it's the T that is the greatest rise. In fact, it's because first of all, you know, everyone wants to go to a parade, right? Who doesn't love a parade? And so you can go to the gay pride parade. It's Pride Month, right? We're going to go to the Pride celebration and celebrate, right? But now everyone wants to be a part of it. Everyone wants to fit in. It's cool if you are now your new self, or it's cool to have, you know, 15 different classifications behind your name. Like, and let me give you an example. Let me go into my bookmark. I bookmarked one here because there's an article that I was reading here, or not an article, but part of an article. I bookmarked the key point that someone put here. So this is a passage from an article. Oh, let me make sure you can get it on the screen. I keep doing that. I always have to make one extra click before I do that. Oh, shoot, what happened there? So here, I'm going to make sure I can bookmark this too. Let's see. I want to make sure you guys can, like I said, like I always do, all the things that I show you will be linked in a single link in the description down below, called a one-tap link. But here's the there's an article in the Daily Mail about how a trans activist had heckled someone named Nadim Zahawi, the son of Yvette Cooper, whatever that means. John Cooper interrupted Mr. Zahawi's Q&A during a speech at the Conservative Association to heckle him over his stance on trans right. And here's the paragraph that is amazing. I got to tell you, this is truly amazing, because I guess that they're talking about, in fact, I'll even open that article too. I'll put it off on the next page over here. Why is that doing that? That's weird. Anyway, here's the passage that's amazing. And this person has already pointed this out to me, right? Oh, hang on. Come on. Here we go. Get it on the screen. Is that on the screen for you guys? There it is. Here's the passage that's amazing. Less known about Warwick Pride's president, who goes by the first name Mia, a mathematics and physics undergraduate. Mia identifies as transgender, non-binary, gender fey, asexual, demi-romantic, and Neptunic. Wow. That's very specific, isn't it? Their interests include music, electronics, programming, arcana, community management and moderation, and Lego. Okay? The communications officer, Aurore, is studying English literature and history and identifies as woman lesbian. She says that she wants to promote Warwick Pride events and help reaching out many queer students at Warwick to make their experience more safe and enjoyable. And then finally, the treasurer and trans ROACE community officer have used avatars in place of photos of themselves. I would guess anime, because that seems to be the hit amongst the crowd. And Treasurer Sylvia is studying Morse and identifies as woman, transgender, predominantly heterosexual. Now, I'm curious on this one. Identifies as woman, transgender, so I'm assuming trans woman, predominantly heterosexual. Now, is that heterosexual, or is it heterosexual, heterogenderal, as in a trans woman who is with women, or is it a transsexual woman who is with men, meaning homosexual or gay? I don't know, because they change their definitions constantly. So, and then the trans aero ace officer goes by the name Uke/Jupiter and is studying physics and with astrophysics and has listed dinosaurs as a general interest. Now, but they want you to think of them as just normal. Now, this is one of those things where I go, okay, you're adding all these little suffixes to your identity, right? And making it so incredibly specific, right? And I'm like, wait a minute. So I have this thing where I think some people just do this because they want to be special and they want to be able to stand out amongst the crowd. And it's funny because I say this often, maybe you've heard me say it before, but I remember back in high school when the somewhat of an out crowd, right? Somewhat of an out crowd, they all, so many of them became into punk rock. Okay, this is back in the early 80s, right? They all were punk rockers. So you got all the safety pins on the vest and the spiked hair and the eyeliner and the, you know, the boots and all that thing. It was just, you know, and it was just a way for them to stand out, one, two, to find other people who maybe are in the out crowd and they can stand out together. And, you know, obviously, except it made them interesting. It just made them more interesting. And, you know, maybe it helped them find other people who didn't stand out. In the 90s, it was kind of the emo kids, right? Wearing all black and dark makeup and dyed their hair black and all that. And I just feel like this is becoming that. The new, because so many of these people are just, one, obviously going through puberty causes people to question everything about themselves and their body development, things like that. But the ones who have the hardest times with it, I think they're the ones who would have been punk rockers in my day. They're the ones who would have been emo in the 90s. It's really just, and but now the best thing about this now, see, you could question the punk rock kids, and you didn't have to necessarily, you know, teachers had to treat them normal, right? You could question the emo kids or the cutters or other anyone else who does weird stuff. But right now, you are not allowed to question this. That is the thing. And so Matt Walsh making this movie, What is a Woman? Well, he's just got people in a damn uproar. You know what I mean? It's quite scary, isn't it? It's quite scary that he's made this movie. And so people are very, very angry. So what I want to do, I want to go through I just want to go through kind of the things that he has on his feed regarding his movie. And we'll go through some clips. We'll do, you know, oh shoot, what'd I do there? Go back to there. So I want to show you. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, I should put that back up. Hang on. Let me do this. Hang on. Let me fix this real quick. Well, let's show you, and I'm going to show you a clip because the other part of it too, we have, what's the wildest thing is they make you, they want you to suspend reality. And so I want to show you one of the clips that he put on Twitter. And again, I showed a clip yesterday. I didn't have any trouble for it. But here's one of the clips he shows on Twitter. And this is the clip in where he's talking to, I think she's a professor, a gender. Here, let me see if I can figure this out. Oh, no, that's not what I do. Hang on. Here, I'm going to put this back away. Just 1 second here. Sorry, guys. I want to also put this hashtag back up because I want to go through some of the comments on the hashtag What is a Woman. So hang on, let me do that real quick. All right. But I want to show you. It's for now. It's kind of like about suspending reality. And you haven't said. And by the way, if you haven't seen the movie. I mean, if you go out to the daily, do whatisawoman.com, and you can buy a 1-month subscription to Daily Wire for $12, which is about the cost of going to a movie, and you can show it to your whole family for about $12. So it's not really expensive to see a movie this way, but I think it's very worthwhile seeing it. It's just a very interesting movie. I'm just saying. So here's the clip from this gender studies professor about how they
male gametes.
Hang on a second. All right, this gender professor. All right, here we go. Let me just. It's going to take a second for this to go full screen. Give me 1 moment, please. Maybe. There we go. Okay, here we go. Here's just a clip from the movie talking to this gender professor. And this is fascinating.
Male gametes. That's what makes me male.
No, your sperm don't make you male.
Then what does?
It's a constellation.
In reality, in truth, okay?
Whose truth are we talking about?
The same truth that says we're sitting in this room right now, you and I.
No, you're not listening.
If I see a chicken laying eggs and I say that's a female chicken laying eggs, did I assign female, or am I just observing a physical reality that's happening in the world?
Does a chicken have gender identity? Does a chicken...
Now, he just asked if I see a chicken laying eggs, is it real? Is it look, in biology there's classifications, right? And one of the classifications are the in the reproductive process. Well, there's male and female in the reproductive process, and no matter what you do to someone in the reproductive process, if in humans or any other animal, if you cut off parts or whatever, it doesn't change what part of the reproductive process they would have been part of had you made no changes to them. So anyway.
And cry.
Well,
Does a chicken
hang on,
commit
hang on.
suicide?
Wait, I'm gonna go back to this.
Let's
I'm gonna go back to
frame-
this because you missed part of it. Hang on.
Female chicken laying eggs, did I assign female, or am I just observing a physical reality that's happening in the world?
Does a chicken have gender identity? Does a chicken cry?
Well,
Does a chicken commit suicide? Let's
does that have to do
frame
with-
it, because you're trying
Chicken has sex like any
a chicken
biological
has
organism.
an assigned gender, but a chicken doesn't have a gender identity.
So we assign female to chickens when they lay eggs?
And what do you mean? How do you a chicken is an assigned gender? Isn't that a classification in the sexual reproduction? It's a classification. It's not an assigned anything. And this is the part that drives me insane with these people. Maybe they don't think you're talking biology. Let's finish this.
We assume they're female if they lay eggs.
Male gametes.
How do you? So anyway, so this is chicken lady. They're not grounded in any sort of reality, and that's what drives me crazy. All right, real quick. Thank you, Selected Boy, for sponsoring the show. You're the first one today. Selected Boy says, a professor in gender is probably a fake job, like a diversity and inclusivity specialist. Yeah, it's a real job, but boy, oh boy, is it? Oh man, I don't even know. I can't even talk about it anymore. All right. Now, before I do any more, real quick, let's say good morning to everybody, because I haven't done that yet. First in the chat today, Stop Down Bold Nation, thank you for being here. You get the bell. Also, good morning, Advocatus Diabli, Ty Alexander, Aaron Meredith, CNN Sucks, the most read name on the internet. Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Also, good morning to Neon Leon, DI Freighter Watcher. Did I say I said Advocatus Diabli already. Good morning again. Simon Wolfwood, saying it carefully, so I say it right. Good morning. Also, Tex AG, what's up? Dun, 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 dun. That's for that little 007. Also, good morning, Rotten Corpse. Maddie's in the house. There we go. I hope you're feeling well, my friend. Also, good morning, Tyler F. And Gunfox61, the ever faithful administrator of our Discord server. And also, good morning to Ken Lee. Nice to have you back. And Ebony Williams, what's up? Tadashi Shinhao, nice to see you. Lord Stanhope, what's up? And how are we getting there? Are we getting there? Yes, we are. Why are you so angry? Is in the house. Nice to see you. Renee Mayette, what's up? And I think we're good. Is that everybody? That's everybody so far. Please share the stream. Oh, James PFP's in the house. Nice to see you. There's a lot of people here. Asian Research Directorate, welcome back. Also, okay, there's a lot of people here. Nice to have you all here. So anyway, if I've missed anybody, T-Ball's in the house. I see you. I said, Lord Sam, Septus Wolf, and okay, and Keebler, what's up? I think I'm. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize I talked this long that I had this many people chatting already. LA Preppers in the house and Anna Lynn. All right, if I missed you, I'll figure it out eventually. So yeah. I wanted to get to a couple other things though that that are getting to me, and then we'll go through some of this. If I don't get any call or anyone joining in. By the way, it is an open mic show. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I should probably put that in the chat too. For some reason, my cloud bot isn't working. Have anyone noticed that? You don't see the cloud bot? Also, if you want to sponsor the show today, you can do that at pdognight.live right up here. That you can watch the show there, participate in the chat, and drop a couple nickels or dimes in the tip jar would be, if you can. That'd be great if you're so inclined. And then share the stream if you haven't done so. Hit the like button. Do all that stuff that YouTubers tell you to do all the time. And if you're watching on replay, throw a comment in the comment section. This topic's very fascinating to me. I don't know why. It just is. And again, the other problem, again, I have a granddaughter and I'm going to have more grandkids someday. And I just want them to be able to go through life in a healthy, happy way and not have this be so insane. Oh, that's because that isn't even on. No wonder. I got you now. And let me make sure that I have I'll put the invite into the chat too, so we can have that. And let me make sure I have the right link. So if you want to, it is an open mic Friday. One of our rare open mic Fridays we haven't done for a while. So if you would like to participate, why isn't that working? Gosh darn it. I want to. There, that's right. All right, there we go. All right, so you should be getting the right link in the chat too. So let's go. I'm going to go through some more of these though, because, some of these clips are just amazing. And like I said, go to Daily Wire. It's $12 or it's 12 or 14. I paid 14 for some reason. I got some exclusive something or other where, I got extra special access or something. I don't know what it's called. And it's funny because some of the people in this who he ended up interviewing in this movie got a little, well, he told everybody what he was coming there for. He was going to interview them, and some of them just didn't really. Well, here's for example, here's a congressman. Here's a congressman that he tried to interview, and we'll show you how that went. Just a second here.
They say even that the penis is
oh no, hang on.
a telltale sign.
Hang on, let me get this right. This is a United States congressperson.
Let's get into more specific policy issues. There are some women who say, and I've talked to a few who say this. They say, hey, I'd like some.
Look how nervous he is.
Privacy in the bathroom.
He's so
I'd prefer not to encounter naked penises, frankly. They say even that the penis is a telltale sign.
Look how nervous he is.
That someone is a male. I mean, there are people who kind of really bought into the rumor that only men have penises. How do we account for that? How do you respond to that?
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. He's afraid. Because he's from California. Or somewhere. I don't know where he's from.
What I would say is that most transgender people that I know, and it's a very, I think, distinct minority of people. It's a very, it is a very, I think, we're talking not about a lot of people. I think a person who wants to use a woman's bathroom, who identifies as transgender, really does think of themselves as a female. So how we go about trying to, respect their basic
no, it's
right
not a
to
parody.
live, I think will be an important part of this law. And bathrooms. Well, wait a minute. Bathrooms are, where you want to take this conversation instead of the basic right to just life is something that I'm kind of mystified that you're kind of not focusing on first, that we're going straight to the controversy over bathrooms.
Well, isn't that part of the controversy, though?
So, you know what? I think this interview is over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna
I think this interview is over.
I just had one last question.
No, the interview's over.
We
Please
want
turn
to
off
know
the cameras.
what is a woman?
Please, let's turn off the cameras.
Excuse me. So we're gonna end the interview. If you guys could please pack up and return the office exactly.
I just wanted to know.
Okay,
I
thank
came
you.
all this way to know what.
Thank you.
For their fair question, I just wanted to know what is a woman.
And you're not
So
gonna find out.
anyway, and you're not going to find out. You're not going to find out. Oh my gosh. And you know what? I got to tell you, politicians have completely pushed themselves into a corner on this. And that's probably the big problem, because they have to, they must conform to the lobby that they have, to the lobbyists that they've pandered to, or the community that they pandered to. And so, unfortunately, for someone like that, they're not going to be able to, they will absolutely be just ripped to shreds if they don't answer the way that they're supposed to. And so the staffer there was probably signaling him to get out of there as fast as he can, probably figuring out who he was and, the point of him being there. This is actually a religion. I'm telling you all, their views is to burn with and loathe the heretic. Yeah, he would have been a heretic had he said anything else. Waiting for young women to strap on their manhood and carry their concealed weapon. Well, yeah. Good morning, Elder Catastrophe, by the way. All right, so let's go. I want to look through some of this hashtag that's been fairly active. It's been quite active, actually, for the since the movie came out the other day. It was a couple days ago. And we're going to go through that. And if anyone wants to jump in, the link is up in the chat at the top. And it's a pinned comment. And then there's also, you can go on Twitter Space. If you follow me on Twitter, you can go on Twitter and there's this open space. You can figure it out where you want to talk anyway. It's only going to be audio today. But if you go in the green room of my StreamYards, there is a spot there where you can go in. So let's go into this. I want to show you I want to just start going through the hashtag, what is a woman, from which people are talking about in the movie, and go through just some of the comments and questions that people have. So somebody here said, let's see. Here's one of the things Matt said too, that they were so mad that I told an African tribe about their ideology. And actually, I'm going to go and let's see if I can link that tweet, because I do want to show you some of the replies to this too. Unfortunately, I didn't have these all open ahead of time, so we'll get there. All right, but anyway, this guy said it's sad that the Daily Wire thinks it's more important to own the libs regarding trans issues than it is to focus on the much more important issue of election fraud. Your hate for Trump outweighs your love of country. Now that's that's fascinating. He's mad that they're not talking about the about 2,000 mules. I found that hilarious. Hi, Ebony Williams. There you are. That doesn't matter. Now here's one. Let's see. Now this is someone who's kind of apparently not happy. If you want proof that my new Daily Wire documentary, What is a Woman, is a devastating critique of gender ideology, look no further than the cyber attack that tried to shut down our world premiere. It won't be the only. Well, what the hell? We got moved. Everything just shifted on the top here. All right, that's fine. We'll just do that. But please answer, what is a woman? Unless you are not into semantic definitions, only into material. Okay, that's not it about that. I want to talk about the movie. You know what? Let's just go into Matt Walsh's Twitter feed. We will, what the hell's going on here? Sorry about that, folks. I'm having some glitches. Decidedly chauvinistic interpretation. Really? I'm assuming you're being facetious. All right, here's the one talking about him going to Africa, because he went and talked to a Kenyan tribe, and basically their answers were, in a sense, are you serious? People actually think this? We think people who think this are crazy or have something wrong in their minds. So here it is. Matt Walsh said that they're so mad that I told an African tribe about their gender ideology, and all tribespeople laughed and made fun of it. I think that's part of the movie that grates them the most. Let's see. That's the clip I wanted to hit. And the replies to this are very interesting, because there's one woman, hopefully, I think it's the first comment here as soon as this pops up. Well, Daily Wire says, hilarious indeed. Watch the clip below. Check the full documentary. Well, anyway, let's watch this clip since they've put it up here. Here we go.
What if a man decides that his gender identity is woman?
A woman has its own duty, and a man has its own duty, and a lady cannot do the duty of a man, and a man cannot do a duty of a woman.
Can a man become a woman?
No.
No?
No.
What about a transgender? Transgender?
No.
No?
It look like if you want to become a lady but you're a man, you have something wrong in your mind.
Now this,
Something
that,
wrong
I'm
in
sure
your family,
this
something
really
wrong in
made
you.
them mad. That he said there's something wrong
What about
with you.
if someone was non-binary?
Come again?
Non-binary?
Catch that? Come again? It's like, what? A what?
Do you know, like non, like someone is
you're not a woman, you're not a man.
yeah, someone is neither. There's something else. Is that?
He's saying we have never seen things like those. For a man, he has a penis. For a woman, he has a vagina. So we know this is a lady, this is a man.
What if it's a woman with a penis?
Both.
The thing that amazes me
That-
too.
People are laughing. Is that a dumb question?
I do got a comment here. Now, now, and part of the argument is that, well, he singled out one African tribe. There's tribes all over that would recognize multiple genders, right? But the one thing I noticed whenever he's asking people questions, how he keeps a completely straight face the entire time when he's talking to the congressman, when he's talking to these crazy professors. He doesn't flinch ever. He's so good at just keeping a straight face. And I think one of the comments in the pre-show is that nobody wants to play poker with Matt Walsh because they never know what he's thinking. So anyway, so there's people commenting on this. It dismantles their completely basic belief that the gender binary and traditional are Western constructs. It's literally the opposite. Gender ideology is Western imperialism. Oh, that's a fire comment. Gender. Now this person wants to say gender is partly cultural. Many societies lack the prioritization, resources, and societal heterogeneity to allow for trans or any LGBT identity to be prevalent. There's a reason the West has become so popular in the past 150 years because it caters to people thoroughly. That's the dumbest. No. It's almost like the West caters in being in boredom. Wait, I didn't, Tyler, you're not the to fix that. I just realized it didn't reset the StreamYards there. I'll do that right now. I don't know if any of you want to jump in, you can click the link at the top. Let's see. There was, where's the woman that was complaining about this though? You won't find any tribe or country not affected by the West on Earth that believes in gender ideology. It's pathetic to see some people think that the tribe was either paid off in some way or that he didn't ask anyone. I'm Albanian, and we are not even that underdeveloped of a country, and you won't find anyone believing in this nonsense. This is part of the film that really hit the nail on the head of how people untainted by Western gender ideology think of it. That is, they laugh and think it's some sort of illness or joke. Great card player, agreed. Oh, he would be a great card player, yes. Now, there were people who, I wish I could find this woman, maybe I have it in my bookmarks here, who was really angry about this particular part of the movie. Let me see if I'm pretty sure I bookmarked it. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, is this it? Oh, no, that's Depp Heard. Okay, I did not bookmark it. I feel bad about that because that was a good part. So anyway, let's go back down. I'm going to go back into Matt Walsh's Twitter feed, though, because there we go. And we'll go through some of the commentary in his Twitter feed. And I'm not going to bookmark it all. I'll just leave the link to his Twitter feed by itself. Ain't no one coming to America to be trans. Right. Baby Vaso, what's up? Haven't seen you for a while. Nice to have you back. So let's go into his Twitter feed because a lot of people are chirping at him. And as soon as this pops up, again, I have so many things running that my computer's very slow. So but lots of people commenting on what he says here. Flat effect is also a sign of sociopathy and that of potential serial killer. I'm not sure what that means. What are you talking about? Oh, it is an illness. It's called gender dysphoria. It was in the DSM-5 before activists got the language changed. It's still in the DMS. It's still in the DMS. DSM-5. DSM or DMS? It's DSM, right? DSM-5. It's still there. And they still consider it a mental issue. So anyway, let's see. All right, let's see here. He does say that none of the critics of the film have watched it, literally not one. Here's one. Now, this is interesting because the question here is watching What is a Woman by Matt Walsh blog. Genuine question. Why, Matt, why did you not speak to gender critical feminists, in particular, the British ones? I get you can't interview everyone, but we are a pretty big part of the pushback. Feel like this is the missing piece. Now, I agree with that. But he does respond to that question. And I'll show you in a moment, as soon as it pops up. I'd like to see trans activists try to cancel Africa. Well, they would try. His response was, this would be a question better posed to the very prominent feminists who turned us down. Not going to name names, but maybe they can speak up and explain why they refused to be a part of this. Wasn't my decision. Now, I'm guessing they asked prominent feminists, but they did not ask prominent gender critical feminists. There's a difference. Some would call them the TERFs. And then she says, standing for XX would definitely have spoken to you. That woman fears no man. I know she doesn't call herself a feminist, but the vast majority of her supporters do. The meetings are almost exclusively rad femmes, while not all would agree to speak. KJ would. I'm sure there's plenty of gender critical. I wouldn't even just say feminist. It's not just feminist gender critical. As I'm finding out as I'm coming to some of the spaces on Twitter that talk about this, they're not all feminists. One in particular is a Trump conservative who, it comes from the spectrum of political spaces, but she had a daughter. Was it a daughter or son? I think her daughter was caught up in this and eventually got out of it, thank goodness. And now they're trying to push it on her son. And she's like, wait a minute, I just went into my daughter. I'm not going to go through this bullshit again. And so she's been studying it. And there's a lot of people. There's one guy called the Billboard guy. They call him the Billboard guy. His name's Chris. And he is up in Canada. And he's in a battle with an ex-wife who wants to transition one of their kids. And so so he's become very active in this. Oh my God. Yeah, you can play that one. When you see Occupy Democrats, you know the bot army is nearby. Oh, where do you see that? It's not in my chat, are they? Which I encourage them to come to my chat and talk. I would love to hear somebody talk about this, try to explain this. Anyway, now this guy down here, though, my suspicion is that it's because he doesn't really view women as equals. I suspect he believes their roles should be submissive and they should not usurp the authority of men. Debating with them would likely be doing that in his eyes. Well, what's funny is, in this movie, the vast majority of people he talks to are women, including the trans man, who is also gender critical now, but knows that that he can't change anything now after he's gone through the entire process of transitioning, including surgeries. And so, he absolutely talks to people who are mostly women. So that's kind of a stupid statement. That's someone else who doesn't watch the movie. This piece missing is that he's anti-feminist. No, I think he would be very comfortable talking to anyone about this topic. But this one, it's astounding how many assume the enemy of their enemy is their friend, when actually the enemy of their enemy is a graver threat to them than their enemy ever was. A much more sensible alliance would be with the enemy against the enemy of the enemy, who is in fact the common enemy. Wow, that's a mouthful. Matt, and now this person is a gender critical person. What'd she say here? Gender. Matt thinks sex and gender are synonymous. Gender is the sex of expectations and behaviors places on individuals according to their sex. It is a social construct, i.e., something society made up. Sex is objectively observable. Animals without social capacity have two sexes. Maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe I'm incorrect on what she says here. Let's see what she's talking about here, because that didn't make sense. Now, and I don't say that gender is the reason gender is a social construct is because the concept is a social construct. Because when humans, we equate, or we have for hundreds of years, thousands of years, we equate gender and sex. We didn't separate them until roughly the time of Kinsey. And he goes, in fact, in the movie, he does go into some of the history of this too. The two most influential people who started talking about this. So this woman says, okay, that's the same woman. Actually, he doesn't think they're the same. He correctly thinks that gender is only a meaningful category in a language and grammar, not in biology. There's a ding for you. Now, he does or somebody else down here replies to her, the place where critical feminist positions becomes blurry is that if we get rid of the word gender, we are left with two sex groups with distinct physical and physiological norms and aptitudes, which was meant by the word gender in the first place. I'm all for reassessment of what the ideal and common sex-based habits and aptitudes for men and women are in Western societies, but just to say norms don't exist and are wrong to observe them seems like the same reality denial, which is at the core of what we are fighting. Now, I like this comment because, as I was saying, this did not, a lot of this, even though some of it came from Kinsey and the guy who did the experiment on the twins, some of the thing pushing the gender ideology came from feminism. Okay. Now I don't necessarily knock feminism as in general. Okay. It's if you're talking about rights. Okay. The right to people to live whatever kind of life they want, not to be forced into some sort of traditional familyhood, but also not demanding that all women jump into that, that odyssey itself. But the ideas of gender roles or sex roles or whatever is somewhat what started driving this idea of separating gender and sex. And so it's kind of like, well, because I distinctly remember when here, I'll pull this off the screen for a second. When I was listening in one of these spaces, right? One of the people that I respect greatly was talking about how, they were talking about this 10-year-old girl who was having, this gender, this I wouldn't say dysphoria, gender questioning, and the, hormonal changes starting to change her body and things like that. She was developing early, and she just, one of the things the girl tells her mom is that, she just doesn't like when boys look at her and that this is all part of the patriarchy. She doesn't want to be part of that. And I'm like, whoa, stop. Back up. Back up. What was that word the 10-year-old used? Patriarchy? So a 10-year-old is concerned about the patriarchy. Where did that come from? That came from the feminist language. Now, look, instead of saying, well, yes, you can, instead of just saying to the girl, you know what, but you're still a girl. You can be whatever you want to be. You can have any kind of personality you want to be. There's change in your body. Everyone goes through this phase where it's challenging to them, but you're still a girl, and we want to help you get through this phase. And now, the standard practice among physicians and the standard practice among doctors is, rather than listening and helping kids get through it, they just affirm whatever the kid says, and you get the term gender affirming care. Whatever the kids say they are, and you're there to affirm it, not to help them navigate it. And that's a point in the movie that Jordan Peterson makes. Jordan Peterson makes an appearance in this movie where he's talking about how, instead of there's, in psychiatry, there's no such thing as X affirming care. Okay. A kid comes and wants to pretend they're a cat. So you have to have cat affirming care for a child. Or someone said, I am a, think of something crazy someone could say that they are, and so you come in with that affirming care. I'm gallbladder. I don't want my gallbladder. Okay, well, we're going to do some, I don't want my gallbladder affirming care. we're going to take it out for no reason. So anyway, that's the, that's the thing that she says when she says this, or whoever said this. Who said this? Gender is the sex of gender is the sex of expectations and behaviors places on individuals according to their sex. I think she meant the list. It is a social construct, something society made up. Well, no, it's not. Gender was originally just how you describe inanimate objects that you got. That's, like I said, we called a ship she, or you called, I don't know. You gave gender terms to inanimate objects. You gave, and most of the romantic languages do that. Everything has kind of a gendered, a gendered terms for it, names, word, language. The French and Spanish and Portuguese all have gender, gendered ending terms if it ends in an A or an O or whatever. So, but then they started putting that back on humans, going, well, that person seems feminine. That man seems feminine. Maybe his gender is different from his sex, as opposed to the other way around. So it's just crazy. What was that? Affirming care. The masseuse makes me pay extra for that. Oh my God. Shoe and Head, Lauren Chen, and Sydney Watson, all examples of who went through goth phases. Oh yeah, I forgot about the goths too. Yeah, it's funny because all of these, up until now. Well, even now. Now I was gonna say up till now, but it's even up to now. So what's funny about all of this when I said the out crowds, tend to latch on to some sort of fad that makes them more noticeable, more standoutish. And I said the punk rockers, right? Then I said the emos. There was also the goth phase. And now transgenders, now the transgender phase. You know what's funny about that? All of them involve excessive amounts of black eyeliner. It just is. It just seems like to me they all have a makeup quality to them or a costume quality to them. So this is in some, now not everybody. They're genuinely people who are have the dysphoria and need help getting through their days by doing this. But so much of it seems to be a costume phase that people are going through. All right, I'm going to try to go back to the one is a woman hashtag, because for some reason it's completely flipped here. This was not a clip that they put out, so I'm not going to use it. Oh, yes, I am. This is a clip where we learn that truth is transphobic. Hang on. This guy, if you haven't, and again, I highly recommend that you go see this. Here it is. Listen to this. You're gonna love it.
Well, I'm not even talking about social context. I'm just trying to start by getting to the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really uncomfortable with that language of getting to the truth. Again, in social life.
Why is that uncomfortable?
Because it sounds actually deeply transphobic to me. And if you keep probing, we're gonna stop the interview.
If I probe about what the truth is?
You keep invoking the word truth, which is condescending and rude. I'm saying to you...
How is the word truth condescending and rude?
Why don't you tell me what your truth is, and you're walking on 30 seconds more of thin ice before I get up.
What my truth is? I'm not even talking...
Yeah, so truth, because he wasn't even asking a whole lot. He was asking a set of questions that were... He was just asking, first he let this guy talk for quite a while, trying to distinguish between gender and whatever. And so he started asking questions, and the guy says, well, I'm trying, he's like, what's your purpose here? I said, well, I'm trying to get to the truth. I'm trying to understand you. I'm trying to get to the truth. And when he said truth, that's offensive. It's offensive to ask for truth. This is a professor at a university saying that truth is offensive. You're not allowed to have truth. It's wrong to have truth. It was just so weird. And it's so funny. So many people are asking that question because the people who are pushing back, nobody can answer the question without having a circular answer. Let's see. Let me find something else here. Oh, and they did try to shut down this premiere with a DDoS attack. After a whirlwind of Twitter back and forth, I've arrived at my conclusion that the trans community are all just gay with extra steps. Trans rights are violating women's rights. Trans women are not women. Trans men are not men. That's someone said that on Twitter. I didn't think you were allowed to say that on Twitter, which is fascinating. Let's see if there's any more good spots here. I'm just scrolling. Give me a moment. God, some of these comments on Twitter. So this one, this guy's like, how is it? Some of you don't know what a woman is when my pecker knows when I'm within 10 feet of a woman. It doesn't have eyes, ears, nose, or even a brain. It just jumps to attention like a meerkat that just saw a predator. God, what's wrong with this? Oh my God. What is a woman? In my elementary science classes, I was told a woman has progesterone and estrogen. It's not a feeling. It is a natural reality. Who is a woman to you? Lots of people showing those same 3 clips, probably because they're the ones that... Oh, here's one. Loads of anti-trans feminists tweeting about the What is Woman film, which is made by a man who is anti-abortion, anti-same-sex marriage, and protests paid paternity. But no, it's trans folks and trans allies who are the misogynists. You know what? You can agree on some things and not agree on others. There's plenty of people who I disagree with on multiple topics where I am an ally to them on other topics where we have common ground. It's okay to have common ground with people who don't believe everything you believe. So that's silly. As you go through this too, also this is Scott Nugent. This is the guy is a trans man who basically is stuck in his situation. And I say him to be polite. But saying that let's see, this one says Scott Nugent is the hero of the film. Such a remarkable contrast between the raw openness and honesty in his interview and the evasiveness and defensiveness from the expert I spoke to. Absolutely, and I could encourage you to find that interview here. And here's they get one day, they get 1 month. Let's see. Oh, good point about this professor too. When you're in a cult and you don't like dogma questioned, it looks like this guy. Gender activists has gotten a complete pass in the media, so much so they can't cope with reasonable questions about their beliefs. How dare you ask any questions is their best defense. So this is the truth guy. How dare you search for truth? How dare you? Oh boy, this is wild. Matt Walsh is trending here in the UK again. So, for the first time in history, let me do the supers real quick. Thank you, Tyler Alexander, for sponsoring the show, and you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day.
China is asshole.
Whoops, I don't know what that was. Tyre says, Truth? You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Son, we live in a world with two genders, and men and women are those genders. We have those genders. We need those genders. Thank you, Tyre. That's good. That's funny. A little, what's that movie from? I know it's Jack Nicholson movie with Tom Cruise and something about the military guys. Anyway, and also Select a Boy. Thank you for sponsoring the show.
Yeah, boy.
Appreciate
China's
you.
asshole.
I don't know why China is asshole today, but quote, Select a Boy says, "Wouldn't what is your truth be a silly question for that professor to ask?" It's absolutely a silly question, but that's, they believe that there's your truth and my truth and not the truth. And again, they're probably talking about lived experience and all that stuff. Here's an interesting comment because there is a money aspect to this. For the first time in history, a marginalized group has a huge dollar sign on top of their heads. Follow the money. Every medical transition of a child leads to $1.3 million for pharma. It's the biggest mass experimentation ever to undertake on kids, and it has to stop. And that is also a point made in the movie, that there is this money aspect that the medical community, it makes me wonder. You don't want to assume the worst of anybody, but people who are in this business make a lot of money doing it, and money can be a really bad influence for bad things, as we've seen. Well, I can't really say during the pandemonium, if you know what I mean. This right here is why people hate philosophers. Yes, true. A few good men. That's what it's from. A few good men. That's great. All right, we'll do a couple more, and then I got to call it a day because I'm already at my time limit here. But why I'm impressed with What is a Woman? It affirms reality in an incredibly effective way, and it plays well with both sides of the political spectrum because it's completely apolitical. It doesn't bring religion or politics into the discussion, only basic truth, common sense, and obvious reality. Yeah, he does a really good job of trying to keep it apolitical as possible. Doesn't, other than the one congressperson that was there, it's very just kind of straight line, asking the questions, letting people answer. He did a good job of just letting people answer, and they gave us lots of fodder with their answers. Trending in Canada, believe all women. Then also, what is a woman? I think that was something to do with the Depp Heard trial. That was hilarious. Oh God, there's another meme. Mommy, is that a man or a woman? It's a Democrat, honey. It's hilarious how What is a Woman is digitally attacked when premiered, but we're supposed to sit and accept Warner Brothers and Discovery's program about drag children. Do we also forget about Everything's Gonna Be All White? Where's the attack on that? Well, this is a completely different situation. That's on a network. This is on a single website. So, it is what it is. I unfortunately I can't find all the people that were trashing this, so but that it is interesting. Oh, this is the professor that he was talking to, and someone brought this up. And Dr. Michelle Forcier from the What is a Woman doc explains gender identity under softball questioning. She says gender is a soul manifested by clothing, hair, and jewelry. I don't think Matt Walsh is at fault for her coming off as disturbing. Yeah, he asked very softball questions, and she just went on and made herself look crazy. So because of what you wear, that is what you are. You're a costume. And the cognitive dissonance for what, there's a kind of a distinction between rad femmes and lib femmes, and the gender critical feminists, because they're not all the gender critical people are not necessarily radical feminist. There's quite a political spectrum of gender critical, and when I say gender critical, gender theory critical people. But the people who have, when I said before, part of this comes from ideas of feminism, where before we said we don't want gender roles, right? We don't want, which sometimes gender roles in nature manifest naturally. In some cases, I'm watching, for example, there's a couple ducks out in my backyard, right? A mallard and the mallard's mate. And because we have a pool, they decided to nest in one of our trees, and the nest has some fresh duck eggs in it. And for whatever reason, the female duck, now this doesn't happen with all bird species because sometimes they take turns, but in this case, with these types of ducks, the female basically fattens up while they're pregnant, or with eggs, and then they lay the eggs, and then that female will stay in that nest until those eggs hatch. And they had a nest in one of our other trees last year, and that female will be in that nest all the time. Now, where the male is, I don't know. But that's just how it worked out in nature, that those ducks do that. If you watch, there's a video online that I've seen several times of a family of apes, of gorillas, crossing a road. And the big male gorilla, who's clearly the leader of that particular family of gorillas, walks out on the road first and stays there while the entire family crossed the road, looking guard, until every other gorilla crosses the road, the females with the babies and all that stuff, until every other female in that group crosses the road, and he makes sure that they're all safe, that nobody hurts them. And then when the last one goes, then he very strongly finishes the crossing of the road. Some of those roles in nature just happen. Now, they don't have to happen to humans because we're a little more, cognizant of the roles that we take and what things we do, whatever. And so, but feminism, in trying to remove the gender stereotypes, the gender roles or whatever, also somehow, in some forms of feminism, exacerbate that with the trans thing by saying, well, if these people feel like they're women, and it's funny because so many trans people, I wouldn't say so many, but some trans people hyper exaggerate the gender stereotypes of what they think is a woman. And I think of this TikToker guy he comes on, he does these videos about, this is my 73rd day as a woman, and he's just, super flatty and this, that, and whatever. And it's like, young person, you're flitting around the way you are is not that doesn't make you a woman. That just makes you someone flitting around. So I would think, though, and I know a lot of the gender critical feminists are really disturbed by that type of things. Or like, for example, let's just take the drag queen story hours that we were talking about the other day. Those drag queen story hours, right? When you see a drag show and you see men dress up as women as entertainment, acting like women, quote unquote, are they what you think the average woman is like in the drag shows? Is that a male's version of what a woman is, I know there's plenty of radical feminists who are like, the fuck? What are you doing? Is that what you think a woman is? So there is, like I said, there's a little bit of tug of war between the gender critical feminists and just the regular old run-of-the-mill third wave feminists, so to speak. Because the gender critical and rad feminists are like, y'all, this ain't cool. Anyway, let's see, what's this see? Now this is that same doctor. This is the same doctor that he interviewed on this NBC thing. And let me just finish up with this. Oh, well, I don't need to see. I don't know what that is. I don't want to know. The hell is that? Oh, it's some razor commercial. I'm like, what the hell is that person shaving? That was just shaving your legs, and it was just a bad angle. Oh my God. There's a Shop Flamingo, and the part of the commercial is no pink tax here. Really? I bet the starter set only $5. Nobody cares. Okay, here's this lady.
To pregnant women, they walk into a room.
Oh, wait, something pregnant women. This is Dr. Michelle Forcier, Hasbro Children's Hospital. Oh, this is I remember. This is the woman who does surgeries. She's oh my God. Oh no, that's the other lady. But this lady, I'm not worried. I don't have time. I wish I did. I wish I had time to see this. All right. Anyway, gang. Well, I'm unfortunately nobody wanted to talk on the show. That's okay on the open mic. But is their razor not designed for a close shave? Oh, I know. But there's no pink tax on that razor. No pink tax. Let's see. Let me see if I can find one last thing here. What the hell is a degree in gender studies? What are they studying? I'm not paying back their loans. Yeah, this whole thing about they want us to forgive student loans. Did you hear that Biden forgave like $6.4 billion of student loans to one particular place that was caught for fraud? Oh, and this is the one. Oh, this is the puberty. Yeah, she's also the puberty block lady. Okay, we'll finish with this and I'm going to get out of here. I want to show this last one because she's really, she believes that puberty blockers are reversible and they're, an important tool in the transitioning or possible transitioning of children, like whatever. And this is here. We'll just oh, that's weird. I don't know what part of the movie this is. I don't remember this. This is.
And you're affirming it with hormones that have never been used in this way.
Oh, this is part of the
puberty blockers, which are completely reversible.
Puberty blockers, which are completely reversible. Oh no, they're not. Lupron is used to chemically castrate sex offenders, but they're completely reversible.
Completely reversible.
One of the drugs used is Lupron, right? Which has actually been used to chemically castrate sex offenders.
You know what? I'm not sure that we should continue with this interview.
So you don't want to talk about the drugs that you give to kids, or?
And you're affirming it with hormones.
Yeah, you don't want to. You got to watch the movie. I highly recommend you go watch the movie. That's all I got to say. All right, gang. I got to call it a day. No one wanted to talk, but that's okay. I'm going to close out I'm going to end the spaces because one of these days I'll have some of these people that I've been talking to on the show. You'll love Gabs. She's a fireball. And also Amy, who is, she's a therapist and very gender critical and very, can drop facts like that. So anyway, I got to go, gang. Happy Friday. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. I know I'm going to be using my pressure washer a lot this weekend because we got to get ready for the party next weekend. The baby shower, number 2 for baby Coralie. And other than that, thank you so much for being here. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button. There's 36 here, 24 likes. So some of you haven't done it yet. Also, shooting Racine yesterday. Oh my God. I'll have to look that one up. Anyway, hit the like button. Share the stream before, during, and after the stream. If you're watching on replay, put a comment in the comment section. And thank you to our sponsors today, who are, it was Selecta Boy, Ty Alexander. You guys are fantastic, and anyone else. And all of you in the chat, thanks for participating. I love it when you all are here. And even when you're not here, I still love you, you know. And anyway, that's all I got for today. Thank you again. My name's P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.